Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, where we take a look at some of the awesome news and reveals of this week. First up on the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, we have a look at some amazing Transformers news from three different toy companies. First up is Threezero is doing a Transformers Shockwave that's kind of their own design. I am a big fan of these when it comes to figure robots of the Transformers. They do not transform, but they look incredible as just a articulated figure piece for on your shelf to represent the character. We also got a look at a Flame Toys went up for pre-order this week on BBTS and other places. That of G1 version Bumblebee. We had the other Bumblebee, which I think was kind of like an IDW one. This one is the G1 version to kind of go with the G1 Optimus and G1 Megatron. I hope that means we'll get G1 Starscream soon. I know we had G1 Shockwave. I don't know if we ever got another version of Shockwave though, so it'd be cool to see their take on a Shockwave. And then we also got to look at two Blokees items. One is a new release of the Blokees Tarn from the IDW comics with his little side character that I feel bad I'm point a blank on. Looks really cool. It's in their, special, articulated figure version. I think it's like the Optimus and Megatron that they had a while back, but, more IDW looking than kind of like chibi cartoon looking. And then finally, something that I wish I could get my hands on, but I don't think it's going to be possible because it is limited to 600, is this Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime Blokees Galaxy version that looks incredible. That's gold and red and clear and everything like that. Really awesome looking. So a lot of amazing model kit and figures of model kits and figures of Transformers stuff to come out this week that just looks really awesome. That is really cool pieces if you are a fan of Transformers and you want more than just the transforming type. And in Marvel Legends news, Marvel Legends had their fan channel thing, which looked really fun. There was quite a few head scratcher items, quite a few awesome items. So first up, they had Mr. CV come on to reveal their I Love You 3000 Valentine's Day Iron Man. I thought this was kind of a cute little gimmick. It's adorable, but at the same time, it reminds me of what Star Wars is doing. It's kind of interesting to see, Marvel kind of doing it now. Makes me wonder, because I know there's, rumors of a holiday Spider-Man. I don't like to talk about leaked listings, but someone did say that there was a reliable source that said there might be a holiday Spider-Man coming out. So we're going to start seeing holiday gimmick, I guess, figures, which is kind of cool. But I kind of hope that maybe we'll get a Valentine's one next year, but in 2027, because I believe this is coming out in 2026 for the Valentine's season. They talked about how it's not really, it's not completely a Valentine's Day item. It is more of like a way to show your appreciation to someone in the community, be it a family member that supports your collecting. And you can leave like a little note on it. There's enough room to write a little thank you note for being, an awesome person. Either be someone who helps you get figures or someone who supports you, like I said, a family member or a friend who's like, yeah, I think it's cool you do this and stuff like that, or you collect. And it could also be for people, who aren't collectors, people who just want to celebrate, someone. But now I'm like, I really hope that they do another one for the following year after this one releases. I had an idea for a Captain America one where it says something to the effect of the ass of America. I think that would be really funny since we're kind of doing this with the I Love You 3000 from the MCU. Maybe they could do a I love you more than the ass of America or something like that. I thought that would be funny. And then to keep going, there is a lot to cover. They did a lot more reveals than I was expecting for the Marvel stuff. We got lots of MCU, lots of comics. So first up, when it comes to MCU, we got a whole new wave of Deadpool and Wolverine movie figures, where we got Blade, X-23, the villain female, I think it's Cassidy Nova. We got Cowboy Deadpool, and then we got two Wolverines. The shoulder, was the arms, bare arms Wolverine in his yellow and blue outfit from the final Deadpool core battle, and then the brown suit Wolverine from the multiverse jumping Deadpool scene, which looked really cool. Two things I'd like to point out. There was a bit of a trend I saw with the Marvel Legends reveals. A lot of, hey, you can do this with an older figure that didn't, no offense, sell very well. So first up is the Cassidy Nova? Nova, I guess. She comes with an alternate hand that has the head of the Time Bureau's guy that Deadpool kind of messes with, that you can attach that has her hands in his face. A very Halloween horror kind of vibes. You can see it here. They talk about how you can take the suited body from the Daredevil Matt Murdock and put that on. So trying to sell another figure with this figure, you could use any suited figure. And then the brown suit Wolverine, they gave him the cowl, but they gave him an alternate neck where you can take one of the previous Wolverines and take the head off and put it on that one. Kind of gives you a reason to go back and buy an extra one of those. And then there'll be a figure we're going to talk about later where they do something where it's kind of like it gives you an ability to buy multiples of things. So they're really going into the gimmick of having you buy multiple things to do multiple things with, which is a very interesting thing to see happening. I mean, we've done that before with all kinds of toys, but it's like this whole live stream had quite a few of it, so I thought that was an interesting trend. Then the final Deadpool and Wolverine item is a deluxe Deadpool, pretty much the beginning battle scene where they're listening to the music and he's beating people up with Wolverine parts from the main timeline or the Fox timeline. So it comes with a bunch of Logan parts with the metal bones and everything like that and the skull, and it comes with a little dog pool, which is really cool. But yeah, so that's all the Deadpool Wolverine stuff. That was pretty much the bulk of our MCU stuff. I'm throwing the Valentine's / I Love You 3000 into that since it is a movie Iron Man that they're using, I think. And then when it comes to comic stuff, this is where the real fun begins for a lot of cool stuff. First up, they're doing they finally showed us what the gold bars and sack were for. It was for the I guess it's Grizzly or Grizzler, the villain, and this is the other item where it comes with an alternate head to be a Ursa Major, so you can swap the heads. So they were talking about how you could buy 2 of that. That was the other item, and it looks really cool. I was really hoping that the gold sack and the gold bars and the sack that says Central Bank New York and everything, that was going to be maybe a Wreckers multi-pack, because I've been hoping for reissues of them or redos of them. And then just to do a quick blast off of running list so we don't go too long, there's going to be the other 2 Uncanny X-Men, or is it Uncanny, or no, not Uncanny. Oh god, what's the one? We got the Wolverine, the Emma Frost, the Cyclops, and the Beast. Now they're giving us Colossus and Kitty Pryde to kind of round that out. To finish that team. Really cool to finish that team. It's a 2-pack that will be going up later on. We're also going to be getting an Abomination and a new Toy Biz themed Hulk line, which we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but I'm really excited for this Abomination. We also got that teaser of all the rockets and the missile trails and the missile launcher. It is that of a Hulkbuster Punisher that looks amazing. Really cool. This will be an item coming out later in 2026. And then finally, we got a look at 2 little teaser items. That of a Falcon, which is probably going to be for a new Falcon, and then a gun, which is the Gamma gun, I think it is, or like a gun that Hulk uses when he's Smart Hulk. So we're going to get a Smart Hulk comic edition, which will be really cool. That's what I'm throwing my hat in, saying that's what these 2 teaser items at the end of the stream were. But there was just so much Marvel stuff that it was amazing. So I was really excited about that. I almost forgot. The most cool item for me that I thought was awesome was this Ghost Rider, which comes with an interchangeable head to have the cool burning skull. Really cool looking. I wanted to cover that real fast because I didn't talk about that enough, if I did at all, but it is really cool. And the bike has the ability to have different variations too, so really excited for that. And over the week we had the Hasbro live stream for Star Wars, where they recap some of the stuff from the Brazilian convention, like the Obi-Wan and the 212th Airborne from the Revenge of the Sith, and the Mandalorian from the first season, first couple episodes. But then we also got some new reveals, like from the retro line. I was a little bummed we got 1 reveal for the 6-pack that we've already gotten 2 reveals from, and is that of an astromech from the Tantive 4. So that was kind of disappointing, but they did give us a checklist that Mr. CV made that you can kind of keep tabs on which ones you have and which ones you're looking for. I always love these little checklists, they're fun. Then we also got to look at 4 vintage collection figures that did go up for pre-order. That of Poggle the Lesser from the Clone Wars and Geonosis. So if you're building out your Geonosis to go around the gunship, you got yourself a fun little villain character. Then we also got a Imperial Snowtrooper Commander This is a slightly different tooling on the Snowtrooper, probably actually quite a bit more because it is based off of the scene in the AT-AT where there's the commanding Snowtrooper. Then we also have the General, is it Vaz? It's a V, I think. I always forget his name. He was the one that was doing the assault on Hoth on the Rebel base. And then finally we got Greedo to continue the Cantina stuff for Tatooine. So it's nice to see that, like they said, they are going to keep doing stuff based off of the Cantina. They are doing stuff based off of Geonosis, but they're also doing stuff based off of other things. I'm curious that this means we might get a Hoth HasLab in the future, maybe a Hoth playset updated for the Vintage Collection. That'd be really cool. We also got some Black Series reveals, not a lot, about 2 that are both going to be, I believe, exclusives. One is Fan Channel Hasbro Pulse, that of the Scar Squadron, Misty and Kav, I think is how you say it. So this is 2 more of the team. They mentioned that there was only 1 more member to finish the team, but there's actually more than just the 5, I think. I think there's actually like 7 characters. 2 of them, I think, either, you know, it's been so long since I read the comics, but I think there were 2 other ones. So I think they're just primarily finishing the main cast, but there are other characters they could do in the future. I'm very excited for both of these. It's getting us a little bit closer to these legend characters, completions of teams and stuff like that I really like. And then we also got a Clones of the Republic 2-pack with Plo Koon in his Clone Wars armor, which is pretty much just the arms have clone armor, but then the rest of his outfit is just, you know, Jedi outfit, but it is a different color than the original, more darker colors like it was in the Clone Wars. And then we also got not a 200, not his, was it 400 and I can't remember the actual battalion, but the Wolf battalion. Instead of a trooper this time, it's actually the commander. It is Commander Wolf on the updated body. And there's, you know, an image here that I pulled up of all the other commanders next to each other. Commander Cody, Commander Bly, I think, not Commander Bly, Commander Bakara, and then Commander Wolf, showing the difference of the different commanders. The thing that upsets me is that they took the time to make a new Commander Wolf for this 2-pack, but the previous one from Comic-Con that was revealed was the 501st with Clone General Skywalker, which was the same one we got from the Ahsoka one, from what I've been able to tell. And then they just repacked the Phase 2 Captain Rex that we already had and the single carded one, which they did release the single one again. I've seen them at GameStop, I've seen them online. I believe you can pick them up at fan channels. And I was really hoping that we would get a new Captain Rex Phase 2 armor on the new clone body, but instead they just hashed that one out again. And I'm just kind of confused why Hasbro went that route with that 2-pack, but they did give us, you know, a completely new bodied Commander Wolf in this pack. Maybe it's because he's a captain and the rest are commanders, but I know that we're also still waiting for a new Commander Bly, and I'm really hoping we get one now that we have, you know, the other clone trooper slash, you know, character from that one that came out a while ago from the... Oh god, I can't remember the Bly's battalion. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just kind of a head scratcher there that, you know, they've done a lot of cool stuff with these Clones of the Republic packs, but then they didn't do anything there when it comes to that. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything that we saw at the fan stream. There was pretty much some recovering news on the stuff from Brazil, and then some, you know, newer Vintage Collection and Black Series, and one Retro Collection. It was very underwhelming, and so I was kind of bummed by that, but it is the end of the year, so they're getting ready for the new year, and hopefully we'll see some pretty cool things. And in NECA toy news, we have a look at some more Ben Cooper figures. I believe this is wave like 13 or something. We've had quite a few. This comes with a lot of horror-themed characters, along with the Misfits character. You've got Ghostface, Freddy with his machete, and then you've got Chucky and the Bride of Chucky, which I think is like Tiffany. I can't remember. I think that's it. And just a lot of cool, spooky figures that went live for pre-order on NECA, so if you want to get them, links will be down in the description with everything else that we covered this week. So in McFarlane toy news, a little something cool when it comes to the roots of McFarlane. They will be doing the original Spawn figure, kind of like they did the Kickstarter a while back, but this one is going to be a more mainstream one with less bells and whistles, but still quite a few bells and whistles. It is that of the Elite McFarlane edition, like they did the Power Armor and the Doomslayer of Spawn from the first figure. It looks incredible. It's got all kinds of accessories. They got the meatball head, or the meaty head. They got the regular head. They got all kinds of cool accessories, so I'm really excited for this. Let me know in the comments down below if you are excited for this one. I always love what McFarlane is putting out. It's cool to see something from his original list of characters and stuff like that. And nothing beats Saturday mornings with a bowl of cereal And Jetta Toys is at it again with the Flintstones, Barney and Fred Flintstone figures. We knew these were coming. They finally went up for pre-order this week. They're available on BBTS, Entertainment Earth, anywhere you buy your fine Jetta Toys. And it is fun to see some more serial characters. We got Tony, we got the Halloween cereals, and I know that there's some, other characters they're talking about doing. We also got other food mascots like Chester the Cheeto. So yeah, so it is very exciting to see these finally available. They look incredible with all their amazing accessories. I will hopefully be able to get my hands on these in the future to put with the rest of the cereal characters, because it is just really cool looking. I think I still have to go get Boo Berry. I don't know if I ever got Boo Berry, but yeah, really cool. If you want to pick them up, they are available right now. It's just fun to see these characters brought to life in toy form. And in Four Horsemen Studios news, not too much, but a little bit, the retailer appreciation figures are getting ready to ship out soon to the retailer. So BBTS, Entertainment Earth, anywhere you get your Four Horsemen, that is the official seller, will be getting these. I have a local seller that I will definitely be picking a couple of these up from when I have the chance, especially that Snake Man. He looks really cool. And then we have a look at their Toylanta exclusive for their figure of I don't remember the name they gave it, but it just looks really cool. It looks kind of like a G.I. Joe / Colonial Marine. Really cool looking character. There is of course, some parts that will be exclusive to the event, but not quite a few, just extra forearms and a head that you can put on to make it kind of different. But all the other fine things you see here will be available on their website when the regular version releases to the public after the event. But yeah, really cool looking stuff. I always love seeing the things that Four Horsemen put out there that are kind of like themed to other things. I don't know what this is supposed to be themed to. I don't know if it's supposed to be just like a G.I. Joe homage or maybe like a Space Adventures homage from some kind of toy line in the 80s. But yeah, it looks really some interesting food collectible news. Jack in the Box will be celebrating, I think it's their 75th anniversary. You can see it right there what anniversary it is. And they are going to be doing their own version of little keychain purse characters. I feel like this is kind of to write off the whole Labubu thing. They're called, I think, Jibbies is what they're calling them. And they're little Jack in the Box keychains that look adorable. I definitely will try to maybe see if I can get myself that one where it's the traditional Jack from Jack in the Box with the suit and everything. But I think it's really cute that they're doing this and really cool. And as someone who likes it when fast food companies do little collectible things like the Halloween stuff at Wendy's, or when Burger King gets cool little collectible things, it's always fun when companies try to do something as a gimmick to get people to come in and eat their food, but also get something fun like this. But I think it's funny because they look like little Labubu Jack in the Boxes, and I love that they're called Jibbies. That just sounds funny. It reminds me of was it Gibby from iCarly back in the day, but Jibby, that's just funny. But yeah, that's and in awesome comics this week, we have a look at the Thundercats Holiday special for 2025. It looks really cool from, I believe, Dynamite Comics. And then we have a look at Marvel's Moon Knight number 15. I believe there's more to the name, but it is the continuation of the Moon Knight story. Mark Spector looks like he's got his butt kicked here, so I'm kind of curious to see what's going on in the comic. And then finally we have a look at G.I. Joe from the Skybound universe, the War of the Dreadnoks number 16, which is the continuation of the G.I. Joe stuff going on with Skybound, but it's part of the whole War of the Dreadnoughts storyline. It looks really cool. I'm very excited for it. But those are the comics this week I'm very excited for that I thought looked really cool. There's a lot of other cool comics that are coming out this week, so definitely stop at your local comic shop, see what they have that's new, pick up whatever's in your saver, and just have a wonderful week of reading. And in our creative corner this week, we have a look at a very talented toy photographer with that of @BrianBlog on Instagram, and their work is incredible. There's quite a few photos here that I picked from. There were a lot more on top of this. The ones that really stuck out to me out of these photos was the Indiana Jones with the relic, and instead of it just being on a pedestal, it's in an alien chamber. I thought that was really cool. I really love the Venom with the from the PlayStation 2 game photo right here. One that really caught my eye because it just looks really cool is that of the Ultraman. I don't know which version of Ultraman it is, fighting a monster, but you see it from the perspective of inside of a building, which looks really cool. I love that photography right there. That's really cool. I don't know what the word for it is, like that there's a word for it when you take a photo in a certain way, and it's really cool, but that would be the word I'd use if I knew it on the top of my head. There's also a lot of really cool photos of just Marvel figures. There's this really cool G.I. Joe one where they use the blast effects, and it just looks really incredible. But yeah, if you are looking for someone to check out who has some really cool toy photography that might give you some inspiration for how you want to pose out your figures or how you want to photo your toys, this is definitely a place to check out. Brian Blog on Instagram has a ton of amazing work when it comes to photos, and I just wanted to cover them here because they are a very talented toy photographer, and I love the different, I almost said cinematography is what the word I was thinking of, but that's when you're filming, but it has that kind of vibe where it's like, whoa, that photo earlier. But yeah, just a lot of amazing work here. There's also a really cool Outback kind of photo with Dazzler, and I think it's Dazzler and Wolverine fighting some Sentinels that I really liked. But yeah, just a lot of amazing work. Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite photo, and definitely check them out. Give them the support, give them the shares, the likes, the love. Comment on their work, which one you think is cool and what you like about it. Just support them because they have a lot of amazing photos on their page, and it's always fun to see what people do with their figures and photography. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you're feeling generous, share it. And thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye.